Okay guys, right, you're probably wondering what I was up to. I hope you can see up through here. What I am doing here is I'm marking out on the OSB where these gaps are here, and I'm going to cut these out, cut a hole in the felt here. So the OSB will go on top of there, the felt will go on top of there, and then when we put our metal fascia on top of there, we will cut holes, the same corresponding holes into there, and then we can put some little grills in there, and that means that the whole of those roofs on each dormer will be vented, which is very important if you have any chance of any moisture going up through all these multiple layers. You don't want it trapped in the roof where it could condensate and start to rot things. So yeah, so a little bit fiddly this, but definitely worth doing. There we have it, airflow into the roof. Come hither. Come to me, child.
Yes.
Hello, Charlie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
And why are you great?
Because I've just earned enough money to get my Nintendo Switch 2. That I was saving up for.
And so you've been working at the Moulin with me, haven't you?
Yep.
And how's that been?
Fun, yeah.
Yeah. Should we just, without further ado, get the thing in your hand?
Yes, I'm kind of impatient for it.
Because you worked so hard, we bought you an extra pair of controllers.
Thank you. Ah, nice. Now I can play with my mates.
Yeah, there you go. Well done, mate. This is what happens when you work hard, isn't it?
Yippee! Work hard, kids.
Right, okay, go enjoy it.
Yippee!
Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? I'm going to walk a different way today because I always walk down that way. So I'm going to have a chat with you whilst I go up to the garden so you guys can see what's going on. So today we are insulating the front faces of all of those dormers, and yeah, that's one step closer to getting those dormers finished, and hopefully by the middle of next week it should all be done, and that will be very, very good news. Once that's done, then I can take the scaffolding down and I can move on and put the insulator panels on the front and seal the building up, which will be very, very cool. Hells is going to be here next week to do some weeding, but Charlie's just done a load of watering, but yeah, everything is doing very, very well. I'll leave that for Hells to kind of tell you all about what she's been up to. So yeah, there we go. It's going to be a warm one today, 32 degrees. So yeah, we better get on and enjoy the bit of coolness that we have first thing in the morning before it gets punishing. Need to go find my hat. So this is the drawing I did yesterday. We have got our 4 dormers, and we're going to concentrate at the moment on doing up to these points here. At the moment, we actually have this sort of detail here where we've got 2 layers of insulation. We've got all of our battens, counter battens, and all of that sort of stuff, and then our actual roof sheets on top of there, like that. We have 85 millimeters here. The 15 millimeter OSB fascia panels that I made yesterday, they are going to go on here like that, which will turn that into 100 millimeters. So when we install these and that together, we are then going to be left with something that's got all along the same plane. And that is going to mean that we can then add the final layer on top of that. So there'll be 2 layers of insulation, so in total 200 millimeters. And then on top of that, I'm going to put another layer of 15 millimeter OSB. And this is all going to be then screwed through. There's timber in this point here, and so they'll all be screwed up with some nice long screws to hold it all and clamp it all together. And then finally, we will then have the metal kind of capping, the fascia that's going to go on top of that. And so that obviously is only like a 1.5 millimeters, and that'll go on there. And then we can use small screws on there. So that is the kind of build up that we're after. First things first, we're going to take care of these all the way through. La 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 la. Go. Dee dee dee, dee dee dee. Time for a bit of OSB. There we go. Kind of want that to be not spinning, but it's because it's in the edge of the OSB. So for the time being, that will have to be that. We need to make sure that we are nice and plumb. But we'll pop a few more screws in. But first things first, let us step down. Have a little look. So we don't want this OSB to be proud of that metal cheek. And the same with there. And in case you're all wondering, yes, I've got to put a piece of insulation, slide it up in there to make it all work. Fiddly, very, very fiddly. Let's take that down, think it through. Is it level? It is almost perfect. Just, oh my lord, like a gnat's chuff. The problem we have is that it's bank holiday today and I can't get the piece of timber I need to go in there in order to have something to pinch and pull up against. It's quite frustrating. So all I can do is put some screws in here all the way through and hopefully you're golden. So Pete and I really did take our time in setting this front up. So hopefully when I put all these screws in, we're going to be left with something that's going to make us happy. It's going to be nice and straight all the way through, because if we get this straight here without any deviations, then all we need to do is plumb it this way, and then our other bit of insulation just sits on top of there. It's like the easiest thing in the world then. So yeah, so let's have a look and see how we get on with it. And let's see what we've got here. Can you guys see that? That's what we're after. So we should have 42 millimeters here or something along those lines. So we'll be able to put another bit of batten in here in order to get this pulled out to the right dimensions. And that is that. So we then have, this is the first layer of protection. So if anything came down through the roof sheet here, then it would land and come out through like onto here. And this is going to come out to here. And we've got another layer of 100 millimeters of insulation to go on here. But what I'm going to do is the insulation is only going to come up to this point here, so there'll be a bit of a gap here, and this will just drop down like that, and then we will have our finish metal trim that will go into there, like on top of there, after we put the final layer of OSB on, and then we'll have just a tiny little bit of this drop down, and so essentially there'll be another version of this there, and there'll be an air gap here, and I will then drill a series of holes in the actual metal finishing, so there's going to be like plenty of airflow. Right, that's enough waffle from me. It's time to move on to bay number 2.
Hello everybody, today I'm going to be trimming down the little weeds that are all poking up out the ground that have been cut already. Ready? Let's do it.
Well, there we go. Another week is over. Kind of didn't get it finished because one of my neighbours turned up. Oh, sorry, you're dirty again. So yeah, one of my neighbours turned up, and a chap I hadn't met before, and he brought a little gate with him, which he saved from this place many years ago because there were kids in here, like 10, 15 years ago, burning stuff. So yeah, so he's come and given it back to us, which was very, very kind of him. But I'll show you what we've done. So we've got those two done there, and those two to do. But I know what I'm doing now, so it won't take long whatsoever. And then we'll get the insulation on there, and once that insulation's on, take some measurements, and that is ready to actually finish off. And I can't tell you how pleased I will be to get those done. Those dormers have taken a fair few weeks actually. Obviously we've been on holiday and things like that, so yeah, it's just life sometimes gets in the way. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and we will see you all next time. Bye bye.